Hello Terra Frutis family, and welcome to an English dub of a video produced by Martin Eco Village Finder, linked to his channel and original video in the description, where he took a facilities, garden, and personality tour of Terra Frutis. And so the title of his video is Terra Frutis in the Rainforest of Ecuador, or so I've translated from German, and anyways. Most of our audience here is English speaking, so I have provided this audio dub of his video. Now, I won't be translating what's said word for word. I can't manage to do 20 minutes of straight German text translation, especially when there's no subtitles. So I will just be saying what I see. If you speak German, go watch the original video and you'll get a better sense of what Martin's trying to convey. All right, so with that preamble out of the way, let's begin the tour. So we start our first shot with the showers, where there's a beautiful mural painted. It says Terra Frutis, and we're viewing the kitchen now. It's a good space where we do all of our cooking. You can see some of the bananas are sitting on the ground. This is our community center. I am in this hot tub recording the audio. This is a space we have music equipment, exercise equipment, and then this is the main community center itself. We have some hammocks, polished varnished floor. This is the view that I wake up to each day. And yeah, beautiful sunny day at this time. We're facing up towards the north right now, and that is to the east. As you can see, those are the mountains on the other side of the Rio Zamora. There's the community center again. We have a bit of an ornamental bed. Yep, yeah, beautiful view right here. This is also towards the power line, if you can see that in the background. So we are in the foothill of the Andes in rural Ecuador. That's our internet tower. That metal structure you see. The rest of course, are trees. These are some of the bananas that we grow. There's a jackfruit, some mushrooms, guava, meringue, ice cream bean, abiu, those are noni. We have winged bean, tons of pineapples, cacao, lemons, tropical fruit, and hold on. Here is a potluck we had, or a community dinner. And so we have pressure cookers, some other pots for cooked plantains in this case. And so this is a showcase of the food we're eating on a regular basis. So we had yellow bananas, plantains, those look like wing beans. We often have chayote, lettuce greens, tropical lettuce, katuk. We have many types of juice. And so this is the bungalow 1. And so you could live here if you come here to Terra Frutis now. I have not yet done a accommodations tour of this building. That's very nice. There's a room on each side. Those two doors that each lead into their own private rooms. And this is the view of the bungalow 5 outhouse. You may have seen bungalow 5 in some of our other videos. Here is the view to the east. This would be essentially your view out your window, and here's bungalow 5 itself. It has 4 doors with 8 rooms in total. You see those red curtains to block some light. Martin was staying in the first room there, and I believe he will be going inside. Yep, there we go. So we have a desk that was made by one of our residents. We have bug nets, bed frames, mattress. Electrical outlets have been installed in every room of this bungalow, as well as a light. So they are in some sense the most modern, fanciest. There is a lockbox or a safe right there. This is the adjacent room. You see another lockbox. This would be the view out your window as you wake up here each morning. Very beautiful. There's a high level of feeling of connection with nature if you can wake up and you're 2 seconds away from the jungle. Different from New York City, to be sure. Not the same. Yep, so some of the walls are painted by a previous resident and some are not. But of course that option's available if you love it here and you want to paint your room, please. So this is the back end of bungalow 5, where there's a little covered table, 2 hammocks, a bit of an exercise space, hangout space. You could put some yoga mats on the floor and do yoga here, do some workouts. Once again, this is a bit of the view of the nature immediately surrounding this building. We weed whack the grass immediately around the buildings to lower humidity and termites and other pest insects that could damage the wood or damage the structure in the long term. So that's a little tree on Aritaku that we chopped down. So this is the bathroom of Bungalow 5. It's the Bungalow 5 outhouse. There are two bathroom stalls in this little outhouse. The one currently being shown has the bidet. So we use a dry toilet compost system. This could be something you look into with the further research of the Humanure Handbook. And this is what's being shown as a plant called Flamingia. It's used as an alternative to toilet paper. No manufacturing required, no plastic packaging required. The leaves are quite soft. This outhouse has running water. We recently, yep, there we go. This is the garden space. You can see some bananas, some corn. The grass is growing. Around the road is either invasive African grass or lemongrass, which we've planted. Now this is our compost station close-up. There are 2 slots of food scrap compost, which comes from the kitchen. And there are 2 slots of humanure, which comes from our outhouses and restrooms. So we're trying to advance our compost system and create better quality compost for the nursery and planting. But some of the compost we use to directly amend the soil around trees. And we're getting a good look of all those. So usually we have 1 active food compost and 1 active humanure. And then 1 composting kitchen scraps and 1 composting humanure. So this is a concrete and wood trellis. And here's a little bird that Ondine, our previous resident, is saving. She's putting back in the nest. And so this is growing badea, chayote, maracuya, granadilla on this trellis right here. This large fruit is the badea. It's a large passion fruit. I personally love them. I love them. They're amazing. And when they're ripe, they're a yellowish brown color. So it looks very nice. I'd love to see that. This trellis is an amazing place to be. Yeah, this is some of the low grass on the ground. I'm not sure why it's being shown. Okay, this chair we use to stand on to pick something that's a little bit higher. We're also looking towards the nursery right now. This space is our nursery, so our plant nursery where we have a bunch of trees, gardening vegetables. There's a squash, funnily enough, growing in the nursery. But this area is primarily the durian and ice cream bean. So durian, of course, we grow for the fruit, and the ice cream bean we grow for usually chop and drop. There's a shade cloth roof. These are some of the plants we intend to deploy in the ground this season. There's also winged bean growing on the nursery walls itself. And here we are walking again down the trellis. And there are now other things growing on this part of the trellis other than badea. I believe the chayote is planted on the left-hand side, and sacha inchi, a tropical nut, is planted on the right-hand side. So this is some more of our gardening space. Right in that grass patch we had aracacha, which is a root. In this area we have chayote, that's the fruit you see in front of you right here. We also have some squash, or had some squash at this time. We've since harvested it all and eaten it. This area has also since been planted with a bit of corn and yucca. So these little bushes are vetiver. It's used for 2 purposes here, to mark the water line and to provide mulch. So we get a good close-up of some high-quality mulch right here. It's primarily sunflowers, which we grow just for this purpose. They're intended for chop and drop, and this tree is a guava tree. I don't think we'll be able to zoom in quite close on the fruits. But here is our coconut chopping area. Also some mulch is produced here. So we have our chopping block and machete. Here we see some cranberry hibiscus and a bit of a close-up on the trellis again. So that guava tree is growing right in the middle of the field. We also have a vine growing up on it. You can see in the background the showers and the place where we originally started this video. We're also growing some corn, some taro, some beans. So our garden space is pretty awesome. I love it. I work there quite a lot. Yeah, showing the beauty we have. This is a nice clear day. Everything's super clear. Sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's sunny. But this, we're was shot in a high visibility day. So some of those stakes are squash you see in the field, and some are papaya. Off to the left here, these trees you see right now in front of you are peanut butter fruit trees. So they produce a bright red, small, squishy, semi-sweet fruit. Now we're seeing the upper gardens, which are a set of 4 raised beds. In these beds, we're growing tropical lettuce, tomatoes, parsley, green onion, and many other things. We're growing papaya, chayote, bacilla alba, winged bean, and many other things. So let's see what else we get a close-up on. These big light green plants are the tropical lettuce. We've built some trellises out of pindu, which is a bamboo-like grass that grows near the river. In this area, we're getting a close-up of the papayas and then the sugarcane. And katuk as well. Katuk is another green salad vegetable I mentioned before. So here's our view again, a nice beautiful rainbow. Here we're seeing some vetiver and lemongrass. And here's some of the bananas we're cultivating. I can't say I recognize this type of banana by the video, but judging by the location, I'm going to say Namois. Here is the area we call the bread nut matoa area, and here's a little beetle. These guys make a funny noise if you pick them up. We have tons of wildlife here at Terra Frutis, from birds to beetles, and of course all of our plants we know and love. There's another banana and papaya producing fairly well. We're trying to get more of those online so that each person can have multiple papayas each day. That's a super cool rack of bananas. I believe it's Orinoco, although I could be wrong. This is a star fruit tree producing quite well. It's producing a high amount of star fruit at the time. So this is just behind our dining hall. And these star fruits are absolutely delicious. I use them in ice cream, I use them in juice. Sometimes I eat them plain. And this is a good example of why you should have pants with no holes at Terra Frutis. The insects are absolutely ravenous. They are looking for anyone and anything to bite. So this is a bit of footage of our personal plots areas. I'm not sure if Martin goes any closer here, but this is a house we have on the Terra Frutis personal plots. So that is an area of 11 different half-acre lots that are sold to individuals, whereas the rest of the community is shared. So this is our neighbor community, Evolution Eco Village. Some funny paintings they have on the wall. This is their community space. And we have 2 of our neighbors playing some chess here. Write in the comments if you can find a better chess move than what's played here. Just kidding. Yes, we have a lot of fun with them playing chess and doing activities, doing permablitzes, socializing. Here we have more shots of the beautiful nature. This is on our driveway once again, facing to the east towards the Rio Zamora, and our neighbors on the other side in a village called San Carlos. Oh no, I'm sorry, San Jose. San Carlos is further down the road. So here we are looking back towards the personal plots, panning around. This is more of the secondary forest, although there is definitely some African grass that was planted here to feed cattle by the previous owner. You can see it on both sides of the road. Unfortunate but true. Excuse the water gurgling noise. People are using the kitchen. So these personal plots are still available. There are 3 lots as of the recording of this video. So if you would like to pick yourself up a Terra Frutis personal plot, please see our website and you will be able to inquire further and buy your own lot here. We had some sales recently and they're going fast, so I don't want to create a false sense of scarcity, but there are only 3 left at this time. Alright, yeah, so the plot that is currently being shown from afar is another community, Fruitarian Utopia, and so you can find more information about their project if you search for Fruitarian Utopia. Perhaps I'll put a link for that in the description. We are also seeing an electric pole We are grid connected, but some people have their own solar systems or mini solar systems. We don't have any large-scale solar for the community just yet. This is our campsite, which doubles as a wood storage. So right here we see we can maybe fit 35, 40 people in this campsite. And it's made of primarily bamboo, wood, local wood, and of course metal roof sheets. So our wood is drying in here, and it will host our PDC attendees, and it also hosts some people who are attending the fruit festival. Here's a closer shot, zoomed in, I suppose, of Fruitarian Utopia. You can see the plants they've cultivated in the what I would consider front yard right there. Some papayas, some noni. So looking really good right there. Yep, on either side you can see a bit more of the jungle, or as much of the Terra Frutis property is pasture. We do have some secondary rainforest as well. Here we're facing, once again, down the driveway towards Terra Frutis. It's about a 5-minute walk from where we're standing right now, where Fruitarian Utopia in its totality is maybe 7 to 10-minute walk away from the Terra Frutis Community Center. Here's another beautiful plant. Looks like a still image here. Oh, what a great shot. This is the view, more or less, from the community space. Some great shots of the mountains and the clouds. I really love these pictures. Here's a close-up of Rollinia, could also be called Chirimoya in the area. And another shot of the gardens, some more metal trellises with wire we had just put up. This is another still shot of the sugarcane field. We drink about 500 milliliters per person per day. Those are those squeaky beetles. Unfortunately, I don't know the scientific name. Here is another still of the community center in good lighting. So we have bug nets and mesh, and also bug nets on your bed. Another still here. This is a great showcase of the community. A close-up still of some of the bananas we saw earlier. So this is a bit within the jungle itself. Hard to pick out exactly where this is. Ah, here we are. We're at the stream. So this is the stream we use for bathing. Also, further upstream, there's a spring where we source our water from. We have 2 separate water systems, a water system for the showers and one for the kitchen. So here's another bit of a panoramic view of Terra Frutis. We're standing a little bit down the driveway. Of course, as I said earlier, we have beautiful nature, but you really got to come here to see it all. We have big butterflies, colorful birds with many different calls. So this bird is a funny one. Unfortunately, I also don't know its name. Yeah, many different birds. Martin did a great job of capturing the nature here and the flora and fauna of Terra Frutis. These are our residents as well. Of course, not only human residents here. Once again, we are not New York City. There is vibrant nature all around us. Another still of the stream. As I said, we are in rural Ecuador, in southeastern Ecuador. Once again here, we're looking at bug bites, something to definitely keep a lookout for. You want to bring pants. Leggings won't help you so much. The mosquitoes will completely ignore that and disrespect you and bite right through the leggings. So denim pants with no holes is good to have. A lot of the work we do is out in the field, so to speak, where there are plenty of insects just like this. This is actually not a dangerous spider, just a super cool looking one. Sometimes these guys make their home, make their webs right around the kitchen, but they're not dangerous. So here's another bird in the tree. Of course, we have birds around us all the time. That guy is a cockroach, the picture of which comes from where I'm sitting. Another beautiful bird. Excuse the background noise once again. There's a blender going on. More birds. Some of the beautiful plants we've planted. These have very soft leaves. And here again, we are by the stream. So this is like inside the secondary forest. You can really see how wild it is, how lush it is. There is something growing absolutely everywhere here. Martin's got his trusty machete with him as well, which is always good to have when you're in the jungle. You never know when you need to move something or chop something down. So this is our bathing pool. Or one of them, actually. One of them. Not the primary one everyone's going in. Yep, the water is very clean. It's also quite cold, but refreshing after a long day's work. I like to jump in there after work. Super, super nice. Yep, you can see here it's always flowing downwards. Sometimes the flow is stronger, sometimes the flow is weaker. Really depends on the amount of immediate rainfall. If there was a ton of rainfall recently, this thing's going to be absolutely gushing. And in the peak of the dry season, it turns down a bit, but of course there's always water year-round. As I mentioned, the spring source of this stream is where we get the water for our water system. So beautiful. We love to come here. It's a great way to get yourself straight, centered. The sound of water, I've heard, is one of the most relaxing sounds of nature. So it can be a great place to meditate, be at peace. Yeah, I absolutely love this area. You can see some orange tropical flowers in the background. Here we're filming underwater, I believe. And then back to the surface. Bubbling brook all the time. Here we see Martin's hat and a tropical flower. These tropical flowers are quite common and beautiful. So here's a shot of us eating. This is at our neighbor's place at Evolution Eco Village. And you'll see many of the fairs we're commonly eating. Here's another butterfly and more of our gardens. This is Martin doing a bit of chayote planting, I believe, or either that or lettuce planting. And here once again we're under the trellis, taking another final shot down towards the gardens. Thank you for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this tour, and goodbye for now.